Alright, you ready, man? You gonna tell me what I have a problem with?
It's filming, man.
I know, but it's not gonna matter. We just cut it. I don't know. I feel like, yeah, we were just doing what you just said was gonna be a problem if we did one after the other. It's not like a conversation. It's just somebody talking. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what that whole thing was just now. Even though I thought it might sound okay, but after listening to me talk for a while and then you talk, I'm just like, it's stupid. You know what I mean?
It is.
Yeah, so we need to figure out a way to like
loosen up.
Yeah, well, you need to pause between sentences because that way I'll have a chance to say something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
Like, I think we should do that over.
Alright, so I'm not even gonna stop the tape.
We're just gonna keep going.
We're just gonna keep rolling, baby. That might go in.
No. No. Alright.
See, this is what we need to do. We need to talk.
We need to like
be
kind of
ourselves.
just free ball it. You know?
Free
like,
ball.
Just like no underwear.
All right, no underwear.
Alright. So I'm gonna do the channel intro again.
Alright.
Okay.
Intro. Take 2. Steve.
Yes.
Go.
What's up, guys? This is Sight and Sound LP. This is our second video and our first album review. As we discussed in the first video that most of you have hopefully seen at this point, because if you haven't, you should go back and watch it.
I mean, I know we have a lot of fans and everything, but yeah, if you guys haven't seen it,
I want to make sure you guys are up to date.
Yeah.
In any case, we're going to jump right into the album reviews. In the last video, we had chosen an album each that we would both give our thoughts on. Frankie's album being Wildlife by La Dispute, which was released this year, and I chose Romance by Two Lord, which was also released this year. And Frankie's going to talk a little bit about Wildlife.
So, Wildlife, and even on a broader scale, the band who made it, La Dispute. I enjoy them a lot. The way I can describe them, I'm going to give a little history real quick. They just started developing some buzz 2010, 2011. You know, post-hardcore. Not in the vein of Scary Kids Scaring Kids and Silverstein and Chiodos and bands like that, but in the vein of At the Drive-In or Glassjaw or even Fugazi. They're a little bit older, but you know, early like Thursday. Anything early on in the post-hardcore genre, stuff like that. Basically, the album, Wildlife, overall, I enjoyed it a lot. I know he did too, right?
Yeah, it's a real good release. I would say it definitely displays what kind of aspects and musical elements that most bands that call themselves post-hardcore should be striving toward, as far as, you know, what they put into their songs and lyrical things and things like that.
Yeah, definitely. And also, what can I say? What makes this band unique is the vocals, definitely, are a big, I mean, you can't talk about them without that. And the instrumentals too, as well. I mean, they're not as standout as vocals, but definitely, you know, they're on point. And I mean, just the whole album in general, the themes in it, I enjoyed the themes that he talks about. You know, I enjoyed the whole thing. It's good storytelling throughout the whole thing. Like, when you're listening to a song, you feel like you're there, like, with the dude, like, writing the lyrics, you know what I mean?
Right. Wildlife is definitely a little more theme-filled. Donuts. A little more theme-filled than Somewhere at the Bottom of the River Between Vega and Altair, which is their first release, which is still very good, but the songs aren't as cohesive Yeah, if anything.
Good word.
Yeah, they're not as cohesive, and they kind of don't go together at all. They kind of just take you through different points that the vocalist is experiencing different things, and he's upset for whatever reason, and that's basically that. And you know, they definitely share some similar qualities, the albums, but I would say Wildlife is definitely a more mature release by a more adult group of people.
Yeah. What else can I say? Yeah, so there's a lot of melodic guitars in this. The drums are awesome. That's right there. I enjoyed the drums a lot. But it's heavy. You know, it's not like super heavy, but it's post-hardcore. It's pretty heavy music. The vocals, I would say, are almost like a half scream, half singing combination. There's also spoken word. And every track on the album is a good song. There's no like standout songs where you could say, well, that's a bad song. There really aren't. The one thing I can say though is it has 14 tracks, and I would say after track 10, Edward Bends 27 times, there's really no need for the extra 4 tracks in there. Like for me, it was starting to drag on, and like the ones at the end, they started to sound a lot like the ones previous. And I feel like, they could have ended it at 10 and it would have been, a good decision on their part. But yeah, everything's on point on this album. I mean, there's nothing really bad I could say. Besides, the vocals could be hard to get into when you're first trying to listen to them. They could get whiny. That's like one downside to the band, is the vocals could get whiny. But besides that, I mean, there's really no complaints on my part. It's overall like a really good album. I don't know.
Yeah, the vocals, like he was just saying, you're either gonna get annoyed at the vocals at first when you first listen to the band, or after a while of listening to them. Like I had checked out their first album before Wildlife, and it took me about maybe 10 to 12 listens before I started to realize how annoying.
That's a lot.
Yeah, how annoying Jordan Dreyer's voice can get a little bit, but after you listen to them enough, you start to become numb to that kind of annoyance.
Yeah.
And you start to appreciate the music a little bit more.
Yeah, and you might even start to like it.
Right. Yeah. You might, but yeah, I think really what's separating La Dispute from a lot of other bands is, like I was saying before, the maturity, and not only the songwriting as far as the instrumentals goes, but the lyrics are like stuff that a 55 to 65-year-old man can relate to, not just some 12-year-old girl in high school.
Yeah.
Like these bands like Attack and all this other stuff that people listen
BS,
to. Yeah.
As we call it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more of an art form, if anything.
Yeah. Yeah, and the themes, like we were saying, it deals with a lot of, heavy stuff like loneliness. There's some relationship stuff in there. There's a story, the song King Park is about a drive-by shooting in the lyricist's town. Just a lot of different themes in there. Death is talked about a lot. They really like, you can find something to relate to no matter who you are. I can guarantee that for a fact, I mean, these are like really universal type themes. So, that's definitely an upside to the album as well.
Yeah, and kind of going off of that, as polished as this record is, production-wise, is one thing that it has that, again, a lot of other bands, records, whatever you want to say, are lacking, and that is raw emotion.
Yes.
It is full of raw emotion. Jordan Dreyer is just pouring out every single emotion he could possibly think of feeling at any point in time onto every single song on the record.
Yeah, like you actually feel like the guy's like, sincere with this stuff. He's not just writing some emo lyrics down on a sheet and, screaming it just to fit into some sort of trend. You know what I mean? Like, this is like, what he wants to do is like what he feels like doing. And they do that to great success, in my opinion. And now, I think I'm going to talk about some standout tracks for me, some of my favorites. Those are track 2, Harder Harmonies, track 3, St. Paul Missionary Baptist Blues,
Church Blues.
Church Blues, sorry. 7, The Most Beautiful Bitter Fruit, by far favorite song in the album. Check it out if you want to get into them. And King Park, as I mentioned, and Edward Benz, 27 Times. Yes, that is a weird name, but it's a song and it's good. And I guess
Okay,
you go
yeah.
now.
Yeah, and the standout tracks for me are the tracks really for me where me personally, I think that the flashes of like potential, like that they can reach, the levels that this band can reach, so particularly on these tracks. Those tracks being St. Paul Missionary Baptist Church Blues, At Your Hometown, The Most Beautiful Bitter Fruit, and Edward Benz 27 Times. I think those songs really give a glimpse of what this band is going to be capable of in the very near future.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. So I guess we'll do final scores now, which I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. I thought it was really good. I was going to give it a 9, but I decided that that's something reserved for almost perfect. And although this record is great, it is not almost perfect, considering it's a little too long and the vocals can get a little bit annoying. But besides that, yeah, great album. Man, I don't know, what do you feel about this?
And for those pretty much very same reasons, I would give this album a 7 out of 10, which is also what I gave their first album. Not anything to do with the video, but just my personal, thinking. Mainly because of those reasons that Frank just finished saying. They still have a lot of room to grow before I give them a 9 on anything they do. They're going to be releasing plenty of other records, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Comment, subscribe, all that good, stuff that you do on YouTube. And tell your friends about our channel if you can.
The name of which
is Sight and Sound LP. Mm-hmm. Tell them to just type that in, and they should see us sitting in chairs in a basement talking about music.
Like we will be doing every single time we film a video.
Yeah, because that's what we do.
Exciting.
It's awesome. So, if you want to share the awesomeness with other people, tell them about it. If you don't have friends, write it on a message board. Besides that, thanks for watching.